folks, welcome into SportsBookReview.com. We are the Major League Baseball team. It is Wednesday, hump day, and we're here to break down the card. Pockets ain't empty, bro, at this point as we take a look at here. Overall, Major League Baseball in full gear. Nice night. Thank you, Nationals. I'm Donnie Seymour. He's Jason Radowitz along with Kyle Purviance, and we're ready to break it all down. Jason, last night, fade in the Philadelphia Phillies. Hey, it's my favorite team. Doesn't matter. Money spends the same way. I love it.
Yeah, it's crazy. And this is why we take team totals overs, because if you took the full game over, that was a 10.5, a bunch of runs in the first two innings, and they still couldn't get 11 runs in that game. Of course, the bullpens kind of held it down for the most part, and that was that. So why we take team totals? Because if we don't think the other team is going to be able to do enough damage, or you just don't know, for sure, taking those team totals are the ways to go. And of course, that we got those in the first two innings. So great day for Donnie and I. Kyle had a good look, just should have taken the full game there. But outside that, it was a great day.
There it was. Kyle bouncing back today on the Major League Baseball card. Deep card today. Not a lot to love. I'm thinking on actually a first 5 team total today. Don't have a best bet and banker. That's okay. We can still have some fun and break down this entire card on the show. Kyle, how you doing today on a Wednesday?
Good. Yeah, the play of the day, obviously they didn't hit the first 5. We got the value menu. We got, 3 or 4 home run props. Got the under strikeout props. So it was a good day overall. Not too bad. Good job on those of you who faded J.A. Happ. That's what you do. Anytime you see him on the mound, it doesn't matter if he's playing the Bad News Bears. You go ahead and you fade J.A. Happ. You take the team total, rock and roll. So good job to you guys in the chat box. I agree with you guys. Not a ton of spots I love. I do have a play of the day. There is one team total that I like that I think is low. It's risky, a team I don't trust. But we're going to rock and roll. You got to follow the numbers. Excited for today. Let's rock and roll.
Following the numbers, I'm following right here. 87,200 people have subscribed here to our YouTube channel. Let's get that to 87,300. If you're not subscribed yet, please do so. We don't ask for much, just a little bit of love there. Turn the notification bell on every time we go live to talk Major League Baseball. Right here on our YouTube channel, you'll get that notification delivered. But also, if it's free, it's me, as we like to say. How about $20,000 in Bitcoin up for grabs here in the summer on our sportsbook.com Major League Baseball contest? I saw a tweet go out earlier. Somebody won $1,000 last week, I believe, on this. I mean, guys, get in and get this money here. If you want me to explain it, that's fine. I'd be more than happy to go all day. But it's a lot easier here, me to take a little bit of time off and let Lee Martin in this video explain exactly how it all goes down.
The free $20,000 MLB 10 runs for free cash contest is now live at SBRforum.com. What is the contest? It's simple. Each day in a designated SBR forum post, you pick one team that you think will score 10 or more runs that day. You qualify to win $100 that day if you are correct. Each day the game continues, you pick another team. And every time your team scores 10 runs, you'll be adding onto your total score. The contest is split into 3 segments, and at the end of each segment, the top scorers split $2,500. And at the conclusion of the contest, there's even more cash up for grabs, in total over $20,000. And I know what you're thinking. You can just pick the Yankees every day and win. No, you can only pick the same team once per week. Check out the link in the description for more info and see you in the SBR forum for the contest.
As Ed Orgeron would say, go Tigers. Tigers up 7-0 here. J.A. Happ absolutely getting bounced as we were watching that video, just peeking out in the corner of my eye. Exits the game in the 4th inning, didn't even get an out, gave up 7 runs. J.A. Happ on full display. There are some games today that are taking place during the middle of the day. Obviously, sometimes when we come on the air, there are games that we could take a look at. How about Detroit 7-0, as I just talked about here? St. Louis and Cleveland. Cleveland, 5 runs in this one, up 5-2. That game in the 4th inning. And the doubleheader game 1, Boston and Toronto, 1-0. The Boston Red Sox already in that one. Jason, take a look at these early games. I mean, look, if anybody out there is like, you know what, today's the day I'm going to back J.A. Happ. I mean, regardless if he's going against Detroit, sometimes you don't know what you're going to get specifically from a road team like the Detroit Tigers, but it's really hard to back that team. Just a terrible season, Jason, from Minnesota all the way around.
Yeah, it's kind of incredible. They're really supposed to be good this year. They had some injuries early, but it really doesn't change much. They've been terrible. And the Tigers, they're getting a little bit hotter now, probably a little bit too late, but offensively, they look good. Hard to kind of take them on the road, but they got the job done against Happ there, so good for them. But I think the bigger game right now, the Blue Jays against the Red Sox. Yesterday, I wanted to fade Richards with the Blue Jays, and the game got rained out. It was my value play. Well, now we're seeing Toronto still no runs against Richards in the 2nd inning. There's 0 outs and a guy on base. I don't have a play on this one either because it's a doubleheader, but I do like the lineup against Richards. So if you want to look at the Blue Jays on a live team total, when they get some guys on base, there's no shame in that.
No, certainly. And taking a look at these games, Kyle, Detroit, as we said, 7-0 over Minnesota. Easy blowout victory here. Got some runs there also in Cleveland. 7 runs, not even out of the fourth inning yet, as Plesac is on the mound for the Indians currently. And then obviously Boston 1-0 over Toronto. It's a shame that some of these games, get those double headers, because those Toronto-Boston games in the small ballpark, you're always looking at totals here. But again, I haven't bet a double header since they went to 7 innings over the last year and a half. So we sort of skip over them. Any early looks from you, Kyle, on this Major League Baseball card?
Well, now I've got my eyes all over Detroit and Minnesota, and I know it's been bad for Minnesota, but let's not forget Detroit does not have a great bullpen. And what do we talk about all the time? So they're up 7-0, could get even uglier here, 8-9-0. Is Detroit going to be bringing out their best arms out of the bullpen when they're up 9-0 after Peralta leaves? I don't think they will. So you might have an opportunity to get a low number on a Twins team total against a bad bullpen in one of their lower echelon type relievers. So maybe later in the game, maybe wait an inning or two, or if you start getting like a 1.5 or a 2 sometime soon here, maybe jump on that Twins live team total later in the game against that bullpen.
All right, boys, let's get into the Major League Baseball card today and have a little bit of fun. We picked an early afternoon game here, East Coast time, 3:40 first pitch, 12:40 out on the West Coast. That is Houston and Seattle, 9:13, 9:14 on the rotation. Take a look at the numbers here, dropping and in the favor for Seattle. And this is interesting, and I'm going to explain my thoughts on this why. So Odorizzi opens up offshore Pinnacle at -130, now down to a -110. FanDuel out of New Jersey here, -134, now roughly down to a pick'em. Either way you go, 8.5s across the board. Jason, this is an interesting one, because look at Kikuchi, the lefty, and say, what type of environment you're going to be in? Kikuchi's been a decent pitcher over the last 30 days. Okay, I get all that. XFIP at 336. But here's the difference. You're taking a look at a Houston lineup over the last 30 days versus lefties. Altuve, 270, weighted on base average. Brantley, 166. Gurriel, 120. Alvarez, 213. And Correa, 253. So your first 5 guys in the lineup absolutely doing nothing versus left-handed pitching over the last 30 days. The line is dipping here. Is this now one of those territories where you say, now, wait a second, I can get Houston to pick them. I don't care what's going on. I'm just going to take that lineup. Or is this really a sneaky play here for the Seattle Mariners where Kikuchi can have some success against this lineup?
Yeah, so, on the year, I do think that the Astros still have the best record, or not record, I think record against lefties and runs against lefties as well. Average against lefties, I still think they're at the top. But yeah, they've been pretty bad in the last 30 days. I think that they've been getting better recently, but still been a disaster for them. So really, like you said, only Altuve, Tucker, and McCormick are the guys that can do some damage against lefties. And Kikuchi, 30.3% strikeout rate, 6.1% walks, 3.36 xFIP. So he's been really good, and the Astros have not been really great against lefties. But Kikuchi still struggles against righties, 434 weighted OBA in his last 85 plate appearance against righties. So the righties in the lineup like Altuve, Diaz, you have Gurriel, Correa, McCormick, Straw. There's guys in the lineup that can do damage, although they haven't done it consistently as of late. Then you got Odorizzi. Yeah, he's been way worse as a pitcher. 522 xFIP, striking out 15% of batters, walking almost 10% of batters. Pretty awful against lefties, and not the best against righties when it comes to strikeouts. You're really low there. So look, this is becoming a rivalry, right, between the Astros and the Mariners. It's getting really fun. The Mariners are for real. They're a really good team, and they're going to be fighting for a playoff spot. We just saw them make moves before the deadline. They might even make more to get better, even when we thought that they would have no shot this year. So they're overachieving, but they are a really good team. They're going to get better at the deadline, and I would think that the camaraderie in the dugout is kind of good right now. So, yeah, this is tough, but I kind of agree with the line movement. I'm not going to be touching this game. I do think it's more of a 50-50 game.
Kyle, what's going on up there in the soft Northwest here when Kendall Graveman changes locker rooms and everybody has a powwow and cries and can't get out of their own feelings in this one? Not as if, I like to say, Willie Mays actually left the Giants in his prime at this point. I mean, come on, guys. Kendall Graveman. Did we expect Seattle to make a run here? What is the big deal here? And also yesterday, Marco Gonzalez being consoled by a coach in the dugout was tearful. I don't know what's going on here, Kyle, but this sounds like way too much emotion on Seattle's side here, right?
It's way what that I get it. Matters of the heart, love has no bounds, and the heart wants what the heart wants, because that's what the hell we are, right? If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. Everything's got to feel good. If you get the wrong coffee creamer from DoorDash, make sure you call and yell at them because it didn't make me feel good. I don't know. It pisses me off. I'll get us kicked off YouTube if I continue on this subject. I swear to God. I'll be on the Olympics. I'll be on everything else. We'll be canceled forever. This game's tough. It's a 50-50 game. You're right. Look, Kikuchi, I would give him the slight edge right now over Odorizzi. Not much. He's certainly been had in his last 5 starts, 3 really good outings. Of course, a couple of bad ones as well. Same with Odorizzi. It's not like there's this massive gap in between the two players. But again, we're talking about a Houston Astros team that smashes lefties. I'm getting plus 105 on the money line in the first 5 innings. So they're a slight dog here, minus 120 on the Mariners. If I'm going to get the Astros with a pretty even pitching matchup and I have them against a lefty, I'm sorry, I'm taking the plus money. It just makes more sense to me. I don't mind the Astros in DFS if you're playing like a single game. Some hitters maybe to consider for the captain spot if you're doing that single game sort of stuff. Altuve sort of struggled. 2 of 13 lifetime off of Kikuchi, but you have guys like Correa, Yordan Alvarez, home run, a double, and 8 appearances, 4 for 8 lifetime. That could be the type of player you look out. Carlos Correa, 3 of 10 lifetime as well. Lean the Astros here, like that plus money in the first 5 money line.
Yeah, here's the interesting part, too, because Odorizzi is a bad pitcher and gives it up to lefties. You're going to have 6 lefties in the lineup today for the Seattle Mariners, so that's that offset that you sort of want to take a look at. But, hey, maybe all up in their feelings, Kyle. Maybe they can't get out of their own way because they got blasted last night when they were all, crying and sobbing in the dugout. So maybe we'll see it as a fall over today.
If you hear Peter Cetera playing in the dugout, go Astros, okay? It's going to be a lot of Peter Cetera, maybe some Richard Marks in there.
That's what it feels like, but we'll see how it plays out. But, hey, look, credit to Seattle Mariners. Nobody expected – you sort of expect them to have a season like the Arizona Diamondbacks because they didn't do much in the offseason and basically were like, in upheaval and the whole Kelenic deal, like, oh, you can't send him down. He said he's a bad pitcher. Boy, this organization stinks. Those players have fought hard, but let's be real. Kendall Graveman switching locker rooms is not the end-all, be-all in Major League Baseball. Okay. Next game up here, 9:03, 9:04, Washington and Philadelphia. Corbin, the lefty, going to go up against the Phillies' ace, Zach Wheeler. Heavy number here. Take a look at Pinnacle now, sitting at minus 215 here in New Jersey, sitting at minus 225 as a favorite towards the Philadelphia Phillies. 8 across the board in this one. Do I think the Phillies are the better team? Yes. I mean, Trey Turner goes down. Now you're basically left with Juan Soto and a bag of donuts on that sideline. And, hey, maybe Juan Soto's good enough to beat a team all by himself. He's certainly shown those propensities in the past. The line is a little bit too high for me, but overall, the Phillies should win this game handily, Jason.
Yeah, looking at the Phillies over 2.5 in the first 5 on the team total, it's just at minus 105, so basically even money for the Phillies to get Corbin to not have a quality start. And it makes sense. Look, the Phillies against lefties in the last 30 days, 195 ISO, 395 weighted OBA, striking out 19% of the time, walking 16.7% of the time. It's just Segura and Real Muto who are not walking at a really, really, really high rate against lefties. Now you got Corbin, 525 xFIP, striking out just 11.8% of batters, and then 7.8% walks. His ground balls are pretty low, 44.3%. Hard contact at 44.3%. To righties, 378 weighted OBA. To lefties, 428. I think the Phillies will have more righties in the lineup than lefties. You'll have Harper in there, and that might be it. I don't think we'll see Didi Gregorius in there. So looking at righties, he strikes out 13.9%, walks 10.1%, ground ball rate lower at 43.5%. So I do think the Phillies should be able to score early in this game against Corbin, and at this point, the Nationals are going to be putting up the white flag. It's over for them. Soto's the only guy in the lineup that has been consistently good with Turner out now. So really nothing to like there. And with Zach Wheeler on the mound, forget about it for the Nationals. So I like the Phillies here. I'm going to take them on the team total in the first 5 at 2.5. But if you want to take them on the money line in the first 5 in the full game, minus 0.5, minus 1.5, I think the Phillies roll here.
Yeah, it makes sense there, too. Look at the last 30 days, Zach Wheeler's xFIP, 2.35. That is incredible. And Jason is correct. There are some elevated weighted on base averages towards left-handed pitching by the Philadelphia Phillies in the expected lineup tonight. Heavy righties, the first, 6 guys out of 8, all elevated weighted on base averages. And also one of the keys that we like to look at, Corbin's not a huge walk guy, around 12%, which is a little bit high. But look at the Phillies over the last 30 days versus lefties. Their walk rate here, Harper, 20%, McCutchen, 25%, Hoskins, 18%, Bohm, 22%. Torreyes 18%, and Williams 15%. If you're getting free passes, that's certainly going to help you out. And also keep in mind, once Corbin leaves the game, not a great bullpen here for the Washington Nationals either. Kyle, looking at this game here in the city of brotherly love, we loved it yesterday, matching up some team totals from a perspective of the Nationals. Hit relatively easily. They got 6-2, didn't score the rest of the game. Now, again, Trey Turner is out, so you're looking from a dugout perspective. Everybody's checking their cell phones. Am I the next one that's going to leave here? Hey, Max, where are you headed? You going to go to the Padres, the Giants, or the Dodgers? We don't know. So that's sort of playing around as well. Whereas the Philadelphia Phillies, their ownership possibly looking to add on. So not as many people checking their phones saying, hey, when's it all over for us today? What are you thinking today between the Nats and the Phils?
Well, first, I got to get over this heartbreak. I'm finding out I have no personality or charisma. That's not good to find out about. It's a little too damn early to find that out about yourself. This is why I day drink, for Christ's sake. Thanks for No, I mean, this one, it's Phillies or bust, obviously. And I'm not a big Corbin guy either. He can absolutely be had. Now, I will say, in 3 of his last 5 starts against the Phillies, 43 or more fantasy points. So he has had some success, including his last start. But no, for me, you can't love the mood in that Washington clubhouse. You can't like what's going on there. The Phillies lineup profile is exponentially better. It's actually the lowest weighted 3-year OPS for a pitcher versus lineup today is Wheeler against Washington. The problem is there's just no value. So I suppose you got to take one of those team totals, as you guys talked about, which I don't mind, or you can take a minus 0.5 in the first 5. That's still minus 170. So that would almost, that's like value menu. That's like throw some McNuggets on it. All right, let's get the free Dairy Queen, something like that. It's a little too juiced up for me. Phillies are bust. I do like some Phillies in DFS today. Guys like Segura, Hoskins, even Andrew McCutchen profiles pretty nicely. Bryce Harper, 8-28 lifetime as well. Adubel Herrera doesn't look bad. So Phillies lineup and DFS looks good. I'd take a minus 0.5 in the first 5 for a little value menu. A little too steamed up. Can't feel good about taking Phillies full game with that bullpen. Even though Wheeler could go deep into this game, you'd still never know late in the game. So something I wouldn't touch from that juiced up perspective unless I'm making it a parlay piece.
All right, and watch out for the comeback now. Down 10-0, now 10-1. The Twins, Miguel Sano, a solo shot. Here they come, right down the warpath here. Late night action, Major League Baseball, another good one here. Maybe San Francisco just is the better team over the Dodgers, but if you're taking out the FanDuel Sportsbook or any other sportsbook, the Dodgers are still the favorite to win the division, despite having a 3-game lead, being the the Giants over the Dodgers by 3 games. Walker Buehler and Anthony DeSclafani on the mound tonight, 7.5s across the board. I mean, how many times can we say this here? A slight dog towards San Francisco. Is the better pitcher probably on the Dodgers side? Yes. But why are we continuing going against, which we're not as a show here, every time they show up as a slight favorite at home? Like, why not just take the San Francisco Giants? Why not just take the under in this type of environment? And I think it's going to happen again. If we take a look at the FanDuel Sportsbook odds boosts here in this game, how about this one? Walker Buehler to get 1 strikeout in the first inning versus the Giants. It boosted to a plus 130. Decent look at that one here. Jason, I'll start with you first. Is it time to stop doubting San Francisco and saying whenever they're a dog, just take them?
This might be the game where the Dodgers find a way to win. DeSclafani has not been good against this lineup for the Dodgers. And you just look at it for the entire team, like just we'll throw everyone in there as the team, that entire roster, 356 average, 406 OBP, slugging 557, OPS 962. Then he just went his last 2 games against the Dodgers, 3 runs in 6 innings, 3 runs in 5 innings, 2 runs in 4 2/3 innings. I think those are all the starts. So, yeah, like DeSclafani can be hit by the Dodgers. And on the other hand, you have Buehler going for the Dodgers here. Lots of strikeouts in that Giants lineup, 55.6% against righties in the last 30 days. Well, Buehler getting around 30% strikeouts. So I do think he'll be able to strike out a lot of the batters in this lineup. He's only struggled with walks to righties. That's the only problem he's had. And sure, Posey could walk, Flores can walk, and that's basically it for the righties consistently from the Giants' perspective. So I kind of like the Dodgers in this game. I think they can get over on their team total, especially being on the road. They got 9 innings. I would go with that direction.
How about this one? Also an odds boost here on the DraftKings Sportsbook here. Dodgers versus Giants. Each pitcher to record a strikeout in the first inning. That's at plus 140. So lining up this game, San Francisco Giants, LA Dodgers. Kyle, your thoughts on this one?
It's tough. Like, the numbers do dictate the Dodgers. And then again, we keep talking about it like, if we're going to get, a good price on the Giants at home, it's hard not to take. One way I would take this, it's another juiced up number, but BetMGM lets you have those alternate totals. You can get the Giants at 2.5, over 2.5. It's like minus 170, 175. 3 runs makes a lot of sense, and I wouldn't panic if it doesn't happen early. They've been dominating that bullpen late in games. The Dodgers have had a hard time getting out of their own way late in games and getting out of those games. So for me, it's dog or pass. The numbers do dictate the Dodgers. I'm not going to lie to anyone. Of course, and Buehler's been absolutely dominant in his last 2 starts against the Giants, 101 combined fantasy points. And the Dodgers do hit DeSclafani well. I would favor the Dodgers. I don't mind them minus 0.5 in the first 5 innings. But if I'm going full game and I'm looking for an underdog spot, yet again, there it is. I would go to the Giants. By the way, Dodgers minus 0.5 in the first 5 is plus 105. So I do think that's a decent little plus money spot as well. Buehler dominated this lineup. DeSclafani struggled a little bit. Tough one. Tough to trust the Dodgers. Tough not to trust the Giants at home. So I lean Dodgers first 5. I'm staying away. I mean, I'm not betting this damn game. I do like that first inning strikeout boost, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I think Walker, I like the one with Buehler just a little bit better. It's a little bit less, but I mean, you do get 2 guys and 2 chances to strike out. But if we're probably just getting, put on the pen, say who's going to get the strikeout, we're probably thinking Walker Buehler is going to get it anyway. So we'll see what takes place out west. Let's get to some value menu wagers on the card today. Going to have a little bit of fun with this one here because I'm going to dip into the market on DraftKings and go with a first 5 team total over. And I put out a little bit teaser if you follow me on Twitter at RightSideVP. One of those organizations that I'm not really looking at, or most people saying they're dead and buried, but not so fast tonight. I'm going to take a bullpen out of the equation. You guys know me. I am scared to death of the Milwaukee Brewers bullpen. So why even go against it? We're going to look at Adrian Hauser in this game versus the Pittsburgh Pirates. And I'm going to go with the Pirates team total over 1.5 minus 145 in the first 5 innings. I think they get the 2 runs, and here's why. Take a look over the last 30 days with Hauser, a 4.97 xFIP number. But the key ingredient here is to left-handed batters. Keep in mind, Hauser is a righty. A 413 weighted on base average over the last 33 hitters he's faced. Well, good news here for the Pirates tonight. Gamble, Reynolds, Polanco, Castro, and Perez, all lefties anticipated to be in the lineup. But take a look all the way through over the last 30 days. There's been a lot of changes in this Pittsburgh Pirates lineup, so you're trying to isolate how they've done recently. Gamble versus righties, a 401 weighted on base average. Reynolds, 375. Polanco, 383. Nagowski, 441. And 649 for Castro. So I think we can get that number here in Pittsburgh. And also take a look at Hauser when we take a look at some of those home and road splits. Now, Pittsburgh, keep in mind, it is a pitcher's ballpark, but away on the road, talking about Hauser versus lefties, a 432 weighted on base average. So we should have some decent looks here from the Pittsburgh Pirates. And sometimes all it takes one swing of the bat here with the guy on first base to get those 2 runs. My value menu wager play tonight, those Pittsburgh Pirates team total in the first 5 innings, over 1.5 at DraftKings. What are you looking at, Jason, for some value tonight on your card?
Yeah, so just want to point out that the Twins now have bases loaded with no outs. Kyle did, talk about looking at the Twins and for them to score some runs now with a 10-0 game, now 10-1. Bases are now loaded with no outs for the Twins, so we'll see how that goes. But just wanted to point that out. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to be on the Phillies over 2.5 in the first 5 on the team total at minus 105. We already went over that. We love the matchup for the Phillies against the lefty in Corbin. So that's the direction we're going to go.
There you go, Kyle. Where's your value on the card tonight? What are we eating on?
For me, it's just a fade of Bubic here. Old Bubic here for the Kansas City Royals. Look, I know he's been pretty good in his last couple of starts. I expect that to regress a little bit towards the mean. 806 weighted 3-year OPS against this White Sox lineup. I do think Giolito can come out here and deal against a hapless Royals team. There's a couple of hitters, Perez, etc., who have had some success, but overall it's a .636 weighted 3-year OPS, one of the lowest on the card. So I'm going to take the White Sox minus 0.5 in the first 5 innings. It's at minus 125. I just like the pitching advantage here for the White Sox. Oh, and by the way, the lineup profile's exponentially better. You look at some of the guys here tonight. Tim Anderson, 4.9 lifetime. Garcia's had success. Even Abreu's had a little bit of success. I don't mind a small sprinkle on an Abreu home run prop. So for me, I'll go with the White Sox in the first 5 innings, minus 0.5, minus 120, fading Bubic.
There you go. Let's get to the best bets on the board here. Where's the big money to be had? Yesterday, cashing in on the Nationals team total over 4.5, which happened quite easily by, before 8 o'clock, basically just sitting that one out. It was fantastic stuff. I don't have a best bet in banker. I was just short here on the Chicago White Sox. The only reason why we basically didn't play it here, 5.5 minus 105 on BetMGM was a little bit too expensive. I mean, you guys know that 6th run to score is sometimes a little bit tough to get to. At least if you have that base board of 5, you could pay it down to the 4.5 -160, but I passed on a best bet and banker, looking more towards tomorrow's card at this time. Jason, are we digging on anything out there, best bet and banker here today for a Wednesday?
I just want to point out the Twins just hit a grand slam. It's now 10-5. So that game's now a little bit closer. But anyway, yes, I'm going to be on the White Sox over 2.5 in the first 5 on the team total. Again, you can get that through DraftKings, through PointsBet, through WinBet. I got it at -130 through WinBet. DraftKings I last saw was at -135. You can shop around or take it at -135 if you'd like. Of course, with the White Sox on the road, if all you have is the full game team total, I don't mind that either with a terrible bullpen in the Kansas City Royals. But we'll go up against Bubic again, just like Kyle was talking about. 5.89 xFIP in the last 30 days. Also, strikeouts 18.4%, walks 12.6% of the time. Now, against righties and lefties, he's a disaster, but more towards the righties because the White Sox, they're likely going to have 9 righties in their lineup going up against the lefty. So now you look against righties. In his last 72 plate appearances, 392 weighted OBA, ISO of 290, striking out under 20% of batters, walking 12.5% of batters. Now, the thing is, against lefties, he doesn't allow much hard contact. Well, against righties, 51% hard contact and a ground ball rate of just 44.9%. So Bubic, he's not bad at getting ground balls. He does limit hard contact sometimes, but that's against lefties. Against righties, hard contact's a lot higher, ground balls are a lot lower. The walks are the same, the strikeouts are a little bit higher, but not good enough anyway. So you look at this lineup again, there's going to be a bunch of righties in the lineup. All 9 will be righties. I'm not sure if Garcia will be in the lineup, and he would also be really good for the lineup, but obviously Eloy Jimenez, he's back. He's a righty going up against the lefty. The last 3 years, Kyle will tell you, probably a little bit better against righties, but at the end of the day, still another righty against the lefty with a power bat. Just saw a home run from him last night. Shows that he's still got it and figuring it out offensively. So, again, we're just going to go with trying to get 3 runs here from the White Sox in the first 5 innings at -130. Again, you can go full game. I like that 4.5 number at -160, but I wanted to cut that juice in half and just take it at -130 because I don't really feel like paying at the -160 price, and I also don't need 6 runs to get a win in any game. So I'm sticking with this one, first 5 team total for the White Sox, 2.5 at -130.
All right, there we go. And if you want to dip into a live total, Tigers and Twins now sporting a 21 here at the FanDuel Sportsbook. So good luck with that.
Value.
Hey, but why not? I mean, who's going to say they're not going to get 6 more runs over the final 5 innings of this game? Kyle, best bets and bankers on your board tonight. Where are you looking?
For me, it's a fade on Michael Wacha, and I know he has pitched the game of his life the last time I bashed on him here. But look, the Yankees lineup profiles beautifully today. We know the Yankees are hard to trust, and that lineup can be frustrating, but they're finally getting back to full strength. Obviously, Judge is back. It's the highest weighted 3-year OPS on the slate in terms of lineup versus pitcher at 909. His last time out, 2 fantasy points. In fact, in 3 of his last 5 starts against the Yankees, he has fewer than 15 fantasy points. So I like that Yankees team total over 3.5, -140. I've also got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hitters: Stanton, Judge, Lemieux, Urshela, Sanchez, and even a little sprinkle of Rougned Odor for some value plays today on DraftKings and FanDuel in my DFS exposure. I also don't mind a little home run prop on Stanton as well. Give me the Yankees over 3.5, -140 play of the day.
All right, let's get around to the odds lightning round pick on some of these Major League Baseball games in the afternoon today. Oakland and San Diego. Taking a look at this, just the last 30 days, if we look at lefties or going up against lefties for the Oakland Athletics, they have been a disaster at the plate. So immediately my initial reaction to lefties on the mound today, and also when you take a look on the opposite side of it, Manaea, who is a lefty, has done very well over the last 30 days versus right-handed bats. Maybe an under out in San Diego today. Where are we looking, Jason, in this game? Any thoughts?
Yeah, this one's really hard. Manaea's been really good. Probably one of the top 5 pitchers in the American League so far this year. Then you have Snell. Obviously, he's been a lot worse as a pitcher throughout the season in the last 30 days. But like you were talking about, it's really just Olsen in the lineup that has good numbers against lefties in the last 30 days. You got guys like Lowry and Murphy and Chapman and Piscotty. They have a little bit of power in them. And, if they could be patient, they might be able to walk against Snell. But neither lineup really looks that good in this game. So for me, it's a stay-away game. I do think the Athletics in the first 5 innings would be the play against the Padres. Now the Padres, Tatis and Cronenworth are the guys. Frazier hasn't been great against lefties in the last 30 days. Maybe with being on a different team might help, but for the most part, yeah, I mean, this is a game where it can go either way. Manea's been really good, and the Padres have the better lineup, but I do think that Snell's the worst pitcher, and I think that any major league lineup can do some damage against Snell as long as they stay patient, get guys on. They just need one clutch hit, and I think that could happen with the Oakland Athletics. So I would probably side with the Athletics there. Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's see what happens in that game. It should be a close one. I mean, you're looking at the A's trying to stay ahead of the Mariners in that division, making moves, picking up also, by the way, guys, getting Starlin Marte, which is a nice added maneuver, which, a lot of other teams could have used him as well. And shame on the Marlins out here for just, hey, maybe it's what you do. You just go to South Florida and you just pull the wool over everybody's eyes, steal the franchise like Derek Jeter. A lot in common. Michael Jordan and Derek Jeter, a lot in common. Championships on the court, but horrendous ownership, and have no idea apparently how the game works and picking players and putting good teams on the actual court or the field at this time. Kyle, we're going to skip over that Milwaukee-Pittsburgh game for the simple fact is we don't have a assigned pitcher just yet for the Pittsburgh Pirates, as if that matters anyway, probably. But we'll see what happens in that one. Let's go to Miami and Baltimore. Holloway and Lopez yesterday. We said, hey, Baltimore may be a live dog in this one, but there was a reason why Alcantara was a favorite in that game for the Marlins. Now you're looking at an even punchless, less Marlins team. 9.5 across the board as a total. Slight favorite here, Baltimore. I do think Lopez overall is the better pitcher. They should win this game, and as a slight favorite, I actually like Baltimore today.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a team total for them because I'm telling you, this lineup profile is way better. Yesterday, we talked about the Marlins profiling beautifully against Watkins and score runs. That's exactly what happened. Every single projected hitter today for the I'm not even joking, against Holloway here, has an advantage of 3% or more. It's green across the board for Baltimore. I don't know why I can't see. Am I just passing over the game? I'm getting old, so sometimes, these things. But I don't see a total for me for that Orioles game, but they're certainly live for a 3.5, 4.5 if it's not juiced up. That Orioles lineup profile is nice. I think they're a really nice contrarian stack in DFS today. Mountcastle, etc. A little home run prop on Trey Mancini, I wouldn't be opposed to either. Give me Baltimore in this one. I like them quite a bit. Minus 0.5, 4.5, minus 130. Perfect. Thank you, guys. See, that's why we got that behind the scenes chat.
Yeah, I didn't want to help you because I wanted you to I like when you flounder out here.
When I flounder a little bit. Yeah. Baltimore minus 0.5 in the first 5 plus 115 makes a lot of sense. That'd be close to going to my value menu. They should hit today. Orioles team totals live. I like them first 5 and full game in this one.
Atlanta broke the force field yesterday, scoring some runs up there in Flushing, Queens. Today, 9:05, 9:06, Atlanta and the New York Mets going to do battle again. Freed, the lefty on the mound, versus McGill. And how about this? Holding strong. Opened up at 125 at Pinnacle, Jason. Now still sits, 125? Offshore, or inshore, I should say, inshore. In the United States with FanDuel, a 134. Where is it at right now? A 134. Not a lot of line movement. The only thing that is dropping here, 8 as a total, down to 7.5. Are we looking at runs, or are we just going to get back to City Field in a 3-1 ball game here?
Yeah, I can't guarantee runs, but I can guarantee the Mets should be able to walk and get on base. Now, can they get clutch hits? That's to be seen. But if you look at their lineup against lefties in the last 30 days, you got Nimmo walking 12.5%, Alonso 12.5%, McNeil 10.5%, McCann 17.9%, Conforto 15.6%, Villar 13%. So should they get on base? Yeah. Because Freed, he's walking 0.5% of batters in the last 30 days, especially against righties at 10%. So, yeah, the Mets should get on base. Can they score some runs? It's really just Alonso that's been the kind of the clutch hitter for the team, so that's to be seen. Then you look at Atlanta going up against McGill. McGill's been a lot better than I think people kind of want to give him credit for. 3.69 xFIP, striking out nearly 28% of batters in the last 30 days. Ground ball rate kind of high, near 50%. And hard contact lower than 30%. So he's been really good to lefties. Yeah, a little bit of power, but there's not many lefties in this lineup. You have Peterson, Albies, Freeman, and Vogt. That's all the lefties in the lineup. And like Peterson hasn't done well against righties. Albies has been okay, 0.306 weighted OBA, and then also Vogt, 273 weighted OBA. So I think the Mets should be able to win this game after last night's embarrassing performance. They got a real pitcher on the mound today. They'll at least give them a chance to win, and I think that they will win.
All right. I know we talked about this game a little bit earlier, Kyle, but I want to circle back and get some second thoughts on this one. We're going to head down to Tampa Bay because we're going to skip over the doubleheader, Toronto and Boston, 7-10, second game.
Mm-hmm.
Have no idea who's going to be in that lineup. But Cortez and Waka on the mound today. And I do agree with the line movement here, Kyle. 141, it opened up offshore, now down to a 127. Here in New Jersey, 142 opened up as a favorite towards Tampa Bay. That one also down to 130. Nines across the board. It simply comes down to this. If we look over the last 30 days, the lineup for the New York Yankees, it seems like you could just hit rinse and repeat, has been pathetic against right-handed pitching over the last 30 days. But take a look at Michael Wacha here. And I say this with, the Yankees, if they have any thoughts of grandeur and Brian Cashman make some moves and hopefully we can make the playoffs. Michael Wacha over the last 30 days, 42 batters he's faced from the right-hand side, a 557 weighted on base average, and a 700 ISO. Like, that's not a 700 ISO. So if you come into this game and the Tampa Bay Rays win like 4-3, or like a game like, obviously the Yankees won 4-3 last night, but flip that score over and the Yankees only get 3 runs, sell the whole team, sell it all.
Exactly. Exactly. Like, look, I don't trust the damn Yankees. Everyone who watches the show does. And by the way, you said Ensure.
Yep.
Are you just looking at the drink in front of the computer right there? Are you drink? I don't think you need Ensure till we hit 50, Donnie. You don't need it in the.
Oh, I already am drinking it, Kyle.
Damn it. Anyways, but I mean,
Take
look,
a
you're right.
sip
If
of
they
my
can't
Ensure.
hit Michael Wacha, get that Ensure in there, get that protein, strong bones, good teeth, all that good stuff. Look, the lineup's fully back to healthy. Looks all like all that COVID stuff is gone. They have power from the right-handed side, the left-handed side. Michael Wacha absolutely stinks. In that same vein, I took the Wacha under 4.5 strikeouts at -127. He has hit 5 or more strikeouts in 4 of his last 5 starts. In the 9 previous starts before that, he never hit the 4 strikeout number, as well as a game against the Yankees where he had 0 in his last start against the Yankees. So I expect the Yankees to hit. And if you're right, if they can't do it tonight, they're completely off my radar. There's not a lot to love on today's card. The Yankees team total over 3.5 makes the absolute most sense I can think of. If they can't hit Wacha, sell the whole damn team, become the Miami Marlins, start giving them away. Well, you don't even have to sell them. That's not
Give
even how it
Stan
works,
back.
right?
Just give Stan back to South Florida. Start
Don't
it
you
right
just
there.
like you tell the Astros you can have Aaron Judge for 30 grand and your bat boy, and a couple of like single A pitchers. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Yankees can't hit today. They're done. In terms of my eyes, over 3.5 Yankees team total makes a ton of sense. I don't give a damn who wins this game because Tampa should be able to score off Nestor Cortez. By the way, that's Bob Marley's name, Nestor. It's a real first name. Just a FYI on your trivia. Yeah, he's actually Nestor Marley. So just some interesting trivia there as well. But I like that Yankees team total. Makes a ton of sense for me today. The lineup profiles beautifully.
Yeah, don't blink now here. Detroit 10-6 now. Minnesota bases loaded with 1 out here. So, look, if there's ever – we bring this up daily here. If you got into this game and you said Detroit's team total, I loved it, you don't give a damn what happens anymore at this point. You cash that ticket in. So you're still watching this game hoping you can win, even though your team has 10 runs on the board in the 4th inning. You're like, man, I don't know if I'm going to pull this one out. So chalk another one up here for team totals in that aspect. Let's keep moving down the list. Cincinnati and Chicago. This one for you, Jason. 907, 908 Molly versus Davies. Roughly a pick 'em across the board. 10s across the board as well in the windy city of Chicago. The ball was flying out of the yard. How about yesterday? If you take a look, the game ends 7-4. You got 11 runs, so you cashed in that ticket over 10.5. But if we would have told you before the game, Jason, hey, you know what? You're going to get 7 home runs in this game. I would have been like, you know what? I'm doubling this down. It's going to go over 18 runs here. So amazing. A lot of solo home runs. Yes, they still count, but boy, 7 home runs and only get to 11 runs is amazing. Looking at this game between Molly and Davies, any thoughts from you here?
Yeah, so look, Votto has been incredible this year. Especially against righties in the last 30 days. I mean, he's been red hot. 431 ISO, 497 weighted OBA. I think this lineup for the Reds is a little bit better than what the Cubs have. And, of course, the Cubs might lose a couple of batters. You got Bryant, Rizzo, and Baez. They're all on the block right now. So how do you go and take the Cubs now? In the first place, you have to wait till the deadline's over so you even think about it unless you can be able to cash out before the game begins or something without losing any money. But Davies, 5.33 xFIP, striking out under 20%, walking 12.1%. The ground ball rate is kind of low right now for the Reds. They don't have the highest weighted OBA at 356, but it's good enough. And the one thing they struggle with is striking out. But Davies, not a big strikeout guy in the first place. So I like the Reds here. I think that we'll see a lot of home runs again. Votto, Aquino, 2 guys that can go deep in this one. So I would start with the Reds here.
All right, let's keep moving down the list here. This is a horrendous game, which would be a lot of fun if you had these two pitchers match up, Bumgarner and Lyles, versus any teams that actually had some alive batters at this point down the season. 9s across the board, a pick'em as well, Kyle, depending on where you're shopping at. Arizona and Texas. I mean, Lyles is terrible. And like, ooh, how does this match up? And then you just look at Arizona's lineup. You're like, I mean, I don't even understand what's going on. And then you flip it over, like, hey, you could really tattoo Bumgarner here. And you look at an even worse lineup, it seems like, for Texas. My God, just hang it up, boy. These two teams hang it up. Any thoughts, though, Kyle, on your end of the spectrum here?
You can get like the Rangers team total over 3.5 at like -160, -155. Maybe I would look at that. It's just look. If your night depends on watching this game, hit me up on Twitter. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna like rent you a movie on Amazon Prime, like anything. There's so many things that I mean, I think I'd rather watch a hippo live birth on like some like zoo stream than watch this, for Christ's sake. You got to be kidding me. I lean a little bit to the Rangers. I can't back Madison Bumgarner, but maybe the Rangers team total over 3.5. They should be able to smash. Both teams weighted 3-year OPS. That's at 820, 819. The pitchers are bad. The lineups are bad. Take a depressed team total or live bet it if you want and attack. These are also two very, very bad bullpens, so maybe you get some value late on a live betting spot.
Skip over that game between the White Sox and Kansas City. I think you know our feelings on that game already, Jason. So we'll go with Colorado and Los Angeles. How about taking Colorado Rockies on the road? They smashed the Angels yesterday. Now you get Chichi Gonzalez on the mound today. So you were thinking that the Angels should be able to hit. And how about this as a favorite here at FanDuel? -220. Offshore here at Pinnacle, -204. Also, if we're taking a look at one of the odds boosts, 3 major favorites today. The Phillies, the White Sox, and the Angels, if all together, plus 230 has now been boosted to 320. Seems a lot easier when you look at them there and then how it actually turns out. But if we're taking a look from a hitting perspective, I mean, the Angels can't hit Chichi Gonzalez. What are we going to do with this team, Jason?
Yeah, and then the over, it's right now sitting at 9.5 at -105. I think that would be the play here. You look at Chichi Gonzalez, obviously 6.03 xFIP, 12.8% strikeouts, ground balls are low, hard contact over 50% at 53.3%. He's been awful against righties. Now you get that Angels lineup: Fletcher, Upton, Iglesias, Stasi, Mayfield, all righties in the lineup that can do damage. Then you go to the other hand, you have Heaney, 4.94 xFIP, walking 9.2% of batters, ground ball rate really low, hard contact 42.1%, and he's also really bad against righties. So now you got Rogers, you have Story. Again, we don't know if Story's going to be on the move, so be careful. But then you got enough righties in the lineup for the Rockies where they can do damage as well. The one thing that really that shocked me when I was looking at the stats, this lineup doesn't strike out. They don't strike out very often against lefties. Well, Heaney's got 23% strikeout. So if the Rockies can put the ball in play, they might see some good things happen. The batting average of balls in play against Heaney, 321. Again, talked about the hard contact. So if the Rockies are able to put the ball in play on the road, they should be able to score some runs. So I think the over 9.5 would be the play in this one.
Ohtani and the gang of 8 out here, so hopefully get some help back. And I guess, as we started talking about George Springer, maybe I got to start picking up the phone and be like, hey, is Mike Trout actually available this season? And what's he doing for all that money out here? Oh, my goodness, man. Eventually, hopefully he comes back in there, Rendon, and then we might be able to get a second-half Major League Baseball team total or some good looks here out of the Angels. That'll wrap up the Major League Baseball card today, but let's clear the bases before we get out of here today and let the good people know what we're on tonight, both value menu wagers and also best bets and bankers. For myself, don't have a best bet and banker, but I'm going to have some fun tonight. I'm going Pirates team total over 1.5 at -145 on the DraftKings Sportsbook in the first 5 innings. I think they could do some damage, at least get to 2 runs after the 5. Then I don't have to worry about going up against that bullpen because the full game is 3.5, which means, yes, they got to get to 4 runs. Maybe they get 3 after 5 innings and not be able to score. I don't want any of that madness, so I'm just going to go with the value menu wager play on the Pittsburgh Pirates team total over 1.5 in the first 5 innings. Jason, your best bet bankers and also your value menu wagers.
Yeah, so the value menu will be the Phillies over 2.5 in the first 5 at -105. That's going to be against Corbin, the lefty. And again, the Phillies, they destroy lefties in the last 30 days, so they should do that against Corbin as well. And then the big play, the White Sox over 2.5 in the first 5 on the team total at -130 via WinBet. You can also get it on DraftKings and PointsBet for the juice, just a little bit higher at around -135.
There you go, Kyle. What do you got tonight? Value menu wager plays and also best bets and bankers.
All right, so on our value menu, we're going to those White Sox minus 0.5 and the first 5 at minus 125, a full fade of Bubic there. Play of the day, of course, is going to be the Yankees team total over 3.5 minus 140. If they can't hit Walker today, they can't hit nothing. Also, our prop of the day, we love that under 4.5 strikeouts. In that same vein for Michael Walker, expect the Yankees to jump on him early, get it done, get him out of the game. Under 4.5 Ks. Last time out against the Yankees, did not record a single strikeout. And for those of you with the home run props, my list of 5 today, we've got Giancarlo Stanton, Chris Bryant, Pete Alonso, Nolan Arenado, and of course, no home run list is complete without Shohei Ohtani. He'll be on my list every day till the end of the year. Good luck on all your wagers, folks.
MVP. All right. Thank you guys for joining us here on the Wednesday show. Hump Day, already halfway for the week, done tomorrow. Nice little Thursday show, heading off to Friday. And before you know it, it will be the weekend. I'm Donnie Seymour for Jason Radowitz, along with Kyle Purviance. We are the sportsbookreview.com Major League Baseball team. This is your show for Wednesday. Good luck on those wagers tonight.